Okay, so one thing we get asked about in the Shiflett Brothers forum is about armatures. So I thought I'd make a coil armature, what some people call, or try to make a coil armature at least. So you see the basic idea. It's just making a circle at the bottom and then turning the wires. And I should really have gloves on. I like to have gloves on when I'm messing with the Almaloy. And that's what this is. It's just a fancy name for aluminum wire. And so we'll just turn these wires at a right angle off of the coil. And so these are going to be your legs. Now, one problem people will run into is they'll have their legs come up like this. But you don't want to do that because there won't be enough room in the crotch. So make sure to bend the wire at the hips, just like that. And so this is going to be the shoulder. It's going to be the arm. And so that's basically the idea of a coil armature. So again, this is Almaloy, Almaloy. You can get it on Amazon. You can get it in most craft stores. So what we like to do is leave the limbs a little long at first. Now that's way too long, but that's what we want right now. Because the idea is that it's super hard to add wire, but it's very easy to just clip it away. So as I go along, I'll become more and more sure of where the wire should end. His fists will be right there, or her fists, whatever it is. So that's basically the human shape. We would do a couple of things like do a wire right there. And so now I'm going to bring in some floral wire. This is a wire, you've probably heard us talk about it in the forum. I'm trying to get it to focus, but it's got some cloth woven around it. And so it's great when you super glue it. It becomes like this super strong cocoon. You can move it, but it's got a lot of strength to it. So the reason why I'm wearing these vinyl gloves is because Almaloy, you'll get this shiny little stuff on your hands working with this wire. So until I have it covered with something, I'll wear some gloves. If you get a little on your hand, it's not the end of the world. The idea is that we work with it all the time, day in, day out. So it's just prudent So let's give them a head. And we'd keep that pretty simple. We will cut off our heads a lot. So a lot of times this first head is just a placeholder head. And that's one thing that's great about Aves, is it's really easy to cut off the head. Or any part of it. So this floral wire in the middle is binding everything together, but it's also starting to bulk up the middle slowly. And it's laying the groundwork for some aluminum foil if the character is going to be bigger or portlier. Okay, and so then maybe a back wire to come around here and go back up the legs, and that'll make it stronger. We tend to overmake our armatures. You know, we work on things for a long time, so we like our armatures to be pretty strong. So considering this guy or girl is standing flat-footed on the ground, once I lock this piece in, it'll be pretty strong. And one thing, I don't like things to wiggle around when I'm working on it. So that is one reason why we make our armatures pretty strong. The less movement, the better. And pretty soon here, we'd put it onto a block of wood, because you can see how it keeps wanting to wobble around or fall over. Once we attach it to a piece of wood somehow, nailing it, bondo it, whatever, okay, so imagine all this is wired up real well. One of the main ideas that we go by is to do the wires up one way and then come back with another wire, another piece of floral wire, and go down the opposing way. Okay? So what that's going to do... Wait, the opposing way. Yeah, that's right. Is it creates these little X's. So then when you hit these little X's with super glue, boom, this thing is not moving. I'm not going to hit it with super glue now, but imagine I am. And when it hits all these little X's, and so then we'd super glue here too. And so then at the points of stress, like the hips, this is getting gnarly looking, but imagine it's looking good. At the points of stress, like the hips and the shoulders. We might mix up some Bondo. Do I have some Bondo around here? Yes. So this is just plumber's putty. Find it in a tube at the hardware store. And we might put some here, because this dries very quickly, within about 5 minutes. Put a little bit around the hips, put a little bit in the head so you'd have a place to work. And then, instead of going straight to Sculpey, we bulk it up a little bit with aluminum foil. And then we might even get some more floral wire and tie that aluminum foil in real well. Almaloy floral wire. This is I think 1/8 gauge Almaloy, and it's the brand name of the plumber's putty is Odie, and that's how we do a coil armature. And it would just get tighter and more specific. We'd start doing the pose. He'd probably be holding an axe or something. Might have some wings or some horns. And that's it. Thanks for participating in the forum. And thanks for watching.